All right, boys, welcome to BBL Week 4 versus Vepsis, who you can check out in the top right-hand corner. If you missed the team builder, be sure to check that out as well. We're going to get connected here versus Vepsis, and he does have the Tower Steel on Thundy, which is unfortunately not what we wanted to see, and he actually has Tower Fairy on Rhydon, which I did not expect the Fairy on that. Okay, so he brings the 6 we expected, except he brings Incineroar over... No! I wish I brought the boulder that I had then. No, I brought the wrong team! That's okay. Alright, we do have counterplay to this. Incineroar was not a Pokemon I expected. I do see the merit, though. I definitely do see the merit. So have fun to Vepsis here. Like I said, in the team builder, we are going to lead our boulder here and try to get off as much big damage as we can early. It matches up well into the Ray lead, and we're going to play accordingly after that. So have fun to Vepsis, man. We're going to jump in here. All right, have fun to Vepsis, man. We're going to jump in here. Hopefully he does not lead that Tower Fairy Rhydon. That would be not ideal. He's going to end up leading the Incineroar, as we are going to lead the Boulder here. I do think I am still going to get this massive Swords Dance off on this Incineroar. Let me see here. +1 Incineroar. Because this is the only thing I have that I would like to get knocked off, right? Yeah, I think we're just gonna go ahead and throw off a Swords Dance here. We're gonna Tower and we're gonna Swords Dance. This is our plan from the beginning. We're just gonna try to get as much damage off as possible here. So he's actually gonna switch out, so we are gonna get to this +1 for free and keep our Sash intact, as we're gonna see potentially Rochester Rhydons come out here. So we're gonna get the Swords Dance off. We could force out a potential Tower Fairy here. Let me see here how much damage we do to that Pokemon if he Tower Fairies. Is it worth me even going for that? Because he doesn't take very much damage from close combat regardless. He takes about 50%. Is it worth me going for the close combat? If he towers, is that good for us? We get the Swords Dance off. If he towers, is that good for us? That puts him, that makes him still weak to the Mr. Feast. I do think I want to go for the close combat, get the damage on this Pokemon. I think that is our best play. I don't really have a great pivot into this Pokemon, especially if he is that Tower Fairy. I could go Bloopy, and as he attacks, go into Gholdengo. Maybe what I do is I close combat, I see what he does. If he doesn't Tower, I go Bloopy, then go Gholdengo. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the close combat here. We see if we do force out that Tower Fairy. Man, we do force out the Tower Fairy. Okay, so Thundy cannot Tower Steel, which is awesome. That is fantastic. So we do force out this Tower. We have the Sash. We'll see if he gets Rocks up, if he decides that he wants to just Earthquake us. And we'll see how much damage we do as well. My bad if the HP bar is messed up, by the way. Bope played on my computer, and I think he moved it. So we'll close combat here. We're going to do no damage at all. Pitiful damage. And if he Earthquakes, we will see that. He is going to Earthquake. Okay. Okay, so I think what I want to do now is I think I want to go into Bloopy, go into Gholdengo, and click Make It Rain. He does not really have a great way to defend it. I mean, he could go Incineroar, I guess. Is that my best play? If he gets Rocks up, that's brutal too, but Bloopy would cover that. I think I go Bloopy here. I do think Bloopy into Gholdengo is the correct line. This Pokemon is very annoying for me to deal with in general. I think Bloopy into Gholdengo is the correct line here. We switch out, we go into Bloopster. This also covers him rocking. We can just Rapid Spin as he potentially attacks us here. He is going to Earthquake here. He is going to do a lot of damage. He might be adamant. 355 to 247. And we are going to go into our Gholdengo here, but I am going to take a second just to think. Okay, so 108 damage means that he has no offensive investment on that Rhydon. And we do always go Gholdengo here, and I do think that we just go for that Make It Rain. We could also go for the Trick. I think that's also a big possibility. We don't die to an Earthquake because he's not invested. So I am willing to get this wrong here. He could go Incineroar. We're going to go Gholdengo here. I think we Make It Rain because it gives us some valuable information about the Incineroar. We do about 33% still if he is a defensive Incineroar, and we kill this Pokemon if it stays in. I think that's our best play. We could also just Trick, but I like having these specs a lot. I think Make It Rain is my play because this is big damage on the Incineroar. It tells us a little bit about his set, and we do have the Iron Boulder sack if need be. He's going to switch out here. I do expect that the Incineroar to come in here. I do believe that was the Incineroar. And if he's not Spadef, we do like 50 here, which is massive unrecoverable damage. If he is Spadef, we're going to do about 30. So we did about 40, so he's likely not very much Spadef investment. So now my question is my best play sacking the Iron Boulder? Because I am very afraid of the knockoff here, and I don't really think I can afford anything else getting knocked off. I could afford the Kyurem getting knocked off, potentially. He didn't bring Klefki, so Scale Shot's very free, though. Boulder outspeeds the Thundy and pressures it that way, which I really like, but I do think I value the HP on my Kyurem more, so I do think I am going to sack the Boulder here. We are just going to sack this Boulder here, as he does show the knockoff. Down goes Big Shoulder Dig, not doing quite as much as I wanted him to here, but that's okay, and I do think now we go into Kyurem Black here. I think I have to go Kyurem Black. I don't think there's another play. I think that Kyurem Black is the play. I think the question is now, do I predict the Rhydon to come in? because I don't have pivots into that Rhydon at all. Right? I could pivot into the Toadscrew on that, but Toadscrew is getting very weak and I don't really want that. I could go into Goldingo. He could just stay in here and knock off. That could be something that he values. I think I could sub here into the Scale Shot. I could also Earth Power Raw, get some damage on that Rhydon. Or I could double Goldingo. Those kind of my thought processes right now. If he Raw knockoffs, we're in a little bit of danger. I don't know if you will Raw knockoff though, but I do think that it is a potential play, so I don't think I want to go hard Goldingo on the Rhydon here. I do think I have to make a prediction. I think I'm down a little bit, and I do think the Rhydon's coming in. I don't think you stay in a knockoff here. You could Will-O-Wisp potentially, so I think your plays are Willow or hard switch into that Rhydon, so I am going to switch out into the Goldingo here. I think I have to make a little bit of a play here, because I think we are pretty far behind. I think we have to get into a position where we can pressure a KO here. We go into Mr. Feast. He is going to switch out, so we get to play right. Is he going to go Rhydon? He's going to go into something else here. What is this? The Mesprit. Okay, that's fine. Goldingo's still in a very good position, and we could just Shadow Ball even now, but I think Make It Rain's still very free. Let me see here, Mesprit. Make It Rain won't kill Shadow Ball, will kill 2 Shadow Balls, kill Incineroar. It's pretty close, but it looks like no. So I do think our best play is to just Make It Rain here. We get some big damage on this potentially, or whatever he wants to switch into. He is going to switch out here, so if he goes Incineroar, we're able to 2-hit KO it with Make It Rain. He is going to go into Incineroar. Make It Rain should always 2-hit KO from this range, so I think that our play is Make It Rain into Make It Rain. If you Scarf Incineroar, that's really cool, man, and I can't fault that at all. We actually do have a chance to live a Max Adamant knockoff, though. We usually do live it, in fact, so I do think Make It Rain again is our play here, as we are just going to try to lock that and try to pick up our first KO of this game. So the problem that I'm running into is that Thundy makes this in-game a little bit difficult with the combination of Thundy and Rayquaza makes the in-game a little bit difficult with Ho-Oh. We can't really lock a move as well as we would like. We are able to pick up the KO, so down goes Incineroar. That Pokemon was definitely a little annoying and did more than I wanted it to, but it is gone now. Fantastic. So Goldingo's in a little bit of a tough spot here. He could go Ray, and Ray's very difficult for us to deal with. We are going to go hard Grim if that is the case and try to trick the Lagging Tail. So the awesome thing about that as well is now whenever we send in this Goldingo, Make It Rain just pretty much claims a KO. So he's going to go Thundurus here. Thundurus is very, very hard for us to deal with. We do always just go Bloopy though. Bloopy, unfortunately, is not going to be as valuable as we want him to be here. We could go Bloopy, he could U-turn, he goes Ray, we go Grim, and we trick Lagging Tail. I think that's a good course of action here. If he does Raw U-turn, I think Thunderbolt's also just a good line of thinking here. He could also just Dark Pulse. Bloopy should be able to take 2 non-specs Dark Pulses, but let's just double check that. Bloopy should guarantee take 2 non-specs Dark Pulses. So really the only threatening thing that he could do here is go for... a double. A very good double from Vepsis. He's probably going to go into Ray here. Shinron. Is that Ray? He is going to go Ray. Fantastic shiny, by the way. Beautiful shiny. So, fantastic double by Vepsis there. We could foul play to put damage on the board on this Ray, and damn near, I think that might be worth it with how useless Bloopy, unfortunately, is this game. We could also go Grim, but I do think getting that damage on Grim is very, very tough, especially at this point in the game. Foul playing allows us to see a little bit of what his set might be, because like I said, we don't have any idea what this Ray might be. The only issue is if he DDs, we're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, this Pokemon's super hard for us to deal with, and pivoting around it is a nightmare. Grimmsnarl might not live Abandoned. Grimmsnarl lives Abandoned Dragon Instant. I think Grimmsnarl is our best play. Yeah, because keeping those rocks off later and having a pivot into Thundy is going to be very valuable. I think we have to go Grim here. I'm not very happy about this, but I do think this is what we do, and then we trick the Lagging Tail potentially. Oh man, Rayquaza is a nightmare. We're going to go Grim here, and he's going to Dragon Ascent. We should live this guaranteed no matter what. That did so much damage. 310? I don't think you're banded, then you're Life Orb, right? Yeah, you are Life Orb. So E-Speed could potentially kill us. Okay, so if he has E-Speed, he does in fact kill us here. But then we can go into our Goldingo and we can KO him accordingly. We could also just sack off the Bloopster here. But Grimmsnarl doesn't really have a purpose here, to be completely honest. Man, unfortunately, I don't think it does. We're going to trick the Lagging Tail. E-Speed should KO us, though, if he does decide to stay in with that. Man, that was a misplay. I should have sacked Bloopy. Oh, but I didn't know it's set. I didn't know it's set, though. And this is a tough Pokemon to pivot into. He's going to E-Speed. He's going to take out Rinky Dinky here. Grimmsnarl didn't do anything. Yeah, I should have just sacked Bloopy, man. That was a misplay. Now knowing his set, I can say that guaranteed. But now we just go Goldingo. He could be mixed Life Orb, though. He could be mixed with Fire Blast. Is a little bit scary. Yeah, we guarantee live the Earthquake from this Pokemon. I could also go into Yang. I think I have to go Goldingo here. And if he's mixed Fire Blast, does he rock us? If he's invested, he does. I think this is my only play. Unfortunately, Rayquaza is just so difficult for me to deal with, man. The good thing is he is putting himself in range of a potential Hurricane in-game for the Ho-Oh. I just Make It Rain. He does Overheat. Damn, man. Ray is so frustrating. He picks up the KO. Oh, I'm playing this so poorly. I'm playing this so poorly. He's at 71% now. I might just have to go into Cure on Black now. I mean, he just goes right. I don't have the pieces to win anymore. Man, this Pokemon put me in such a blender. Oh, Rayquaza is so good, man. I get Freeze Dry. I guess I could try to pick up the KO on this Pokemon or whatever he might go into. The best case scenario is if he goes Mesprit. If he goes Hard Rhydon, we might be cooked. If he goes Mesprit, we could sub. We can potentially get a couple turns out of this. He could also just be Scale Shot. He's gonna switch out here into what? Potentially even just Zama, right? No, that is Mesprit, right? I mean, maybe there's a chance still we sub here, and depending on his set, we can do some. That's a crit, and we get the freeze. So I'm sorry about that, Vepsis. We're gonna sub here. He's gonna switch out. He's gonna go Rhydon. We sub. We get a freeze dry off. Yeah, we're gonna go for the freeze dry here. Maybe don't really have another play. Oh my goodness, is that a crit? Roar. He's actually gonna roar me. Okay, so we didn't want to risk the miss there. Either of our Pokemon's a pretty good pivot into this, actually. Oh, fantastic. We're gonna land a Hurricane, is what we're gonna do. Seeing how much that Freeze Strike did, he's Fizz Def, not Spot Def. We Hurricane. If he goes into Thundy, we can pivot. I do think this is our best play. He could sack Mesprit potentially. I think Hurricane is our best play here. Okay, alright. I mean, we only got in this position because of a freeze anyway, I guess, but that is not ideal. Okay, goodbye, Ho-Oh. Yeah, now the game is guaranteed over. We can't do anything, unfortunately. We can go Bloopy. We can try to get some damage off here. I mean, I guess I'm going to foul play calling the Rayquaza switch. That's all I can do. Try to get a little bit more diff. I mean, to be honest, if he goes into Zama for whatever reason and lets me get an Earth Power off, if he doesn't Oko me, maybe there's an in-game for Cure Black. We foul play. Okay, no, he doesn't. I did that to call the Ray. He's going to Rock Tomb here. I mean, I don't really have an out. I'm kind of just clicking buttons and hoping. At this point, I guess I Earth Power, try to put this in range of Cure Black, guaranteed. The foul play still does that. I'm going to foul play again, trying to call the Rayquaza. I still think it's my best play. We're going to foul play again. Okay, we're going to Earth Power this time, I guess, trying to call that the Rhydon stays in. You get another differential point. If he goes Ray now, then I guess you just got me. We're going to Earth Power. Do massive damage here, and he is going to be able to KO the Bloopy. As we're going to try to get one more differential point here with Cure Black. Unfortunately, we are not Dragon Dance, so there's no chance for us to get much more than this one differential point here. I'm clicking Earth Power because if he goes Zama, it gives us some actual damage, and we might live a hit into KOing him with the second Earth Power, but we're going to take out the Rhydon here, and we're going to lose this game 4-0. Very good game to Vepsis, man. Like I said in the team builder, Rayquaza put me in such a blender, man. Unfortunately, that mon is so crazy to try to prep for. I feel like it matched up so well into us. So he's going to go into Zama here. Game should be over. I mean, I go for the Freeze Dry Freeze, right? Just in case. He's going to CC, and that is going to be the game. Good game to Vepsis, man. We're going to fall to 3-1. Not how we wanted to start this. Again, I feel like Rayquaza did crazy into me. I feel like Vepsis played very well. I feel like I played very poor. So good game to Vepsis, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.